Hey everyone, welcome to the Sanctum. This is Ale. So you're gonna hear a little bit of a whining in the background a little bit. I'm reformatting my desktop computer because it is going bye-bye. I got 2 new gifts for myself this past week or so. A new Surface Pro and a laptop. So it's replacing my desktop. Yay! So that'll be going out the door. And nice thing about it is that'll make more room for where I film, so that's going to make it even better for us in the long run. So today we're going to review Crystals, the Stone Deck. 78 crystals to energize your life. Now the nice thing is that this is by Chronicle Books. The text is by Andrew Smart. The photographs is by Jason Wyke. The box is superb. Look at this. It slides right out. It's a thick, really great box, and it's so compact enough that you can just bring it with you wherever you go. The only thing that I would say that I probably don't like as much is that it is pure white, which means it will get scuffed up easy. But I'll be honest with you, because it's not, it's a matte white, and these are very reflective. It's really excellent in the long run. And I wanted to show you some of the cards. This is the book, literally. It's a pamphlet. And there's a reason why for this. This basically tells you how to use the deck. Literally, it's how to meditate with crystals. How to use the deck is literally the first page. And it's like, that's it. How to meditate with crystals lasts long. How to make a fashion statement. How to honor your astrological sign. How to make the world's simplest crystal grids, how to keep the bad vibes out, how to feel better guaranteed. Take a deep breath. And then it goes into how to get grounded, how to set an intention, how to power up for the long haul, how to express yourself, how to take care of your stones, and how to dream big. And they actually have a book, and they have a free app called the Stone app, which, by the way, if you haven't gotten the Stone app, you would, if you love crystals, get that app. It is spectacular. I cannot say enough great things about the app. Especially if you want to learn more about stones, it's fantastic. So I wanted to show you a little bit more about the cards. Now, I'm going to show you the front of the cards first. This is Jet. This is Topaz. And they're all in their raw form. You don't see hardly any of them tumbled. Vanadite. Sunstone. And you've seen some of my Sunstone, which are tumbled. This is Amazonite, which I have as well. Peridot, which I need to get some Peridot. This is a diamond in the... And as you see, this one's more of a polished stone. Still rough, but polished more. This is Halite, which I do have. This is Aventurine, which we've seen before, which I love that stone. This is Shungite, which I do have. I have a couple pieces, I think, of Shungite. Magnesite, which I would love to get some. Orange Calcite, which I really need to invest some. And I have some calcite, but not orange calcite. Rhodochrosite, which I do actually have some small pieces of, which I absolutely adore. And I have rhodochrosite as well. Tiger Eye. What do you know? Rhodonite. Green calcite. Isn't that gorgeous? That's the one on the cover. And there's a good reason why it's there. This is Celestite, which is, I have this tumbled as well, and it is so beautiful. I love that stone. Jasper, and Jasper comes in so many different types. They just boiled it down to a piece of Jasper. Ruby. Carnelian, which carnelian is gorgeous. Sapphire, and they did different types of sapphires on there, from the corn blue to the purple to the pinkish purple. Techite, which is actually a type of glass formed from volcanic rock. I actually like it, actually. Amethyst Emerald, which I showed you my emerald and fuchsite recently. copper, which is technically not a stone, but it enhances all other stones' abilities. This is Calcite right here. This is Scholocite. Now, a lot of times you'll see in my cinnabarite that I have, the little pieces of cinnabar in the pink with the white, that's the Scholocite. So, lapis lazuli. Lemurian quartz. See the difference here, how it has those lines across. Very beautiful. Apophyllite, which I really need to get a few pieces of. I've been eyeing it for a while. Smoky quartz. Fluorite. Comes anywhere from green to purple. And there is a rare blue one called St. John's fluorite, which I just recently saw a piece that I want to get, and it's expensive because St. John's fluorite is very expensive to get. But I saw a piece and I was like, oh my god, I gotta have it. So I'm looking at getting a piece. Turquoise. This is a meteorite. Also expensive, by the way, in case you didn't know. Blue calcite. Kansas pop rocks are also very expensive for that same reason. They're also known as you probably know them more as bogie stones. Cryopace. Bogie stones are actually a trademark name. This is a Shiva lingam. Kyanite. Kyanite, oftentimes you see this part here, it blades off. There's blue, there's orange, there's black. So they're really cool. This is malachite, which I have 3 pieces. They're not super high grade, but they are pretty awesome. Azurite, which I'm going to be buying some. I cannot wait. This is the original aragonite. It comes like this, and I actually want to get a piece that's like that versus a tumbled piece. There's also blue aragonite, gray aragonite that come up as well. Now this is Moldavite. Moldavite is actually dark green tektite formed by a meteorite that impacted near Germany around 15 million years ago. This piece is probably the piece of my pinky nail. It is very tiny. It is very, very, very expensive. And it's very hard to get a hold of. And if you find somebody who actually does sell that actually has true Moldavite, yeah, you're looking at that little piece right here is probably about 50 bucks. Not joking. So if you plan to get Moldavite, which actually works really well with a lot of things, be prepared to pay through the nose for it. So obsidian, moonstone, and there's more. This is my favorite, of course, bloodstone. Thank you, Benabel, because who's addicted to bloodstone to have them in the household now? Me. All right, so that's the front. And you're probably wondering how I can rattle those off without saying anything. Voila, the back. So first things I want to show you is look at all the colors that are showcased here. Now, each of these colors actually groups them into different things. Now, what they did is they actually told you what it is, who needs it, where to put it, where to use it, and then they actually give you a empowerment statement at the bottom. So one of the cool things is you can use this deck as anything, whether it be Oracle or to use daily. I honestly have been using it daily for a couple of feeds, basically for myself. Like I'll pull a card every day for reading, and it seems to be doing the trick for me. So it does, by the way, these cards are really like by themselves. They're not really coated per se. They're kind of bendable and thin. So they're like about, I want to say about 250, 280 GSM. But they are ruffle shuffleable, which in my eyes, of course, is all that matters. Can I shuffle them? Cool. Now they are longer than normal deck cards, or right around the same size as a regular tarot, maybe a little bit longer than normal, because they are a little bit harder for me to grasp to shuffle like this. So one of the things that I will tell you that a friend of mine does is that she will take the ends, see if I can actually do it, And she will riffle shuffle them this way. Yeah, I can't do it like she does. And then she'll pull them like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull 3 cards. Now, the cool thing about these 3 cards that we're going to pull today, and we're going to make totally messy decks, by the way, because since I know what a lot of the cards are, or what they may be, we're just totally slopping it around for this. The reason why, yeah, let's make it totally messy. The idea here is just some things that we want to, that card's first. We want to know Malachite. There's our 3. We want to know basically what kind of things we need to work on, what we need to deal with, and is there anything in particular that is coming up for us, just so we know what kind of energies that we're working towards. Now, so what's really cool, we have Sunstone, Malachite, and orange calcite. What you know, I have 2 of the 3 stones. I obviously need to get the 3rd. It is coming. It is meant to be. So here's the deal. And you probably noticed that I have a little bit more room to maneuver, like I said, with getting my desktop stuff out of the way. One of the things about the desk that I have currently is it was always too low for when I typed. I'm used to having things like right about at this level. So I used to have things to lift up my keyboard. So now I'm not joking, with having everything done, I'll be able to literally lift up everything for my tablet and my laptop. I'll be able to set it up where it'll be able to be aired and stuff, and I'll still be able to use my keyboard, connect my keyboard to my laptop, because I have an awesome keyboard. It's big letters, which makes it easier when I'm like working at night. So one of the nice things is when you see the colors, you can actually get an idea of a feel. Okay, so for Sunstone, this is, what is it? Sunstone emanates a feel-good vibes of warmth and radiance. The stone's orange and red sparkly light effects, aka spangling, aka adventure sense, is the result of copper inclusions reflecting light from within. See, copper plays a role. Who needs it? Fellas looking to operate on a higher plane, the vitamin D deprived, that would be moi. All solar powered human beings who do not in fact harvest life force by turning up the brightness on their smartphones. Oh, I do. I have my brightness like 75%. Anywhere to put it, anywhere you're looking for a boost in stamina. First thought, the gym, sure bro. When to use it, whenever it's time to get busy or when your disposition needs a little signing up to take back your shine. Now, one of the cool things about this card, and I'll be honest with you, when I first got the deck, I had seen the deck. My friend Silver actually recommended it to me. Had seen it, and I had seen it prior, and I had forgotten about it. She brought it back up because I had the app, but I didn't think about the fact that they had a deck. When I got the cards and I was showcasing the cards to her, I'd taken a couple pictures and stuff. I'm sorry about that. The fact that these cards really kind of hit home. So for me, this is, and for a lot of people that I'm sensing a lot of the fact of a bunch of us need a little bit more brightness in our lives. We're going through changes right now. Gosh, I mean, it's March. So we're setting into a spring of change. So a lot of us are going into springtime, even though we've gone through some snowstorms. Those in the southern hemisphere are dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. And for any of my New Zealanders out there, I am so sorry for what's happened recently. You are some of the best people on earth. I have friends who live down there, and I know that your life recently has been totally upturned, and I am so sorry for what happened. So may you find peace, especially with this stone. Hopefully it'll bring a little bit more light and warmth into your life with everything that's happened. For those of you who may be seeing this at any time given, today's date currently is March 17th, 2019. There was recently an attack in New Zealand, and I'm going to leave it at that. You can research it online whenever you see this video. It happened in Christchurch, and that's it. Now, Malachite. For Malachite, it says what it is. With its trademark acid trip swirls. Oh yeah, they're so acid trip. Money green Malachite is an electrifying mesmerizer with a high copper content. Again, copper and copper is coming up, so I want you to keep that in mind, okay? Because I'm going to pull the copper card out after. Always good for a moving energy and making things happen. Who needs it? The overflowing in creativity but lacking in follow through. Me! The all business all the time set. Where to put it? If you're trading cryptocurrency, writing television plots, television pilots, that would be moi. Or starting up the next tech giant, try some malachite in your workspace. Oh, I gotta get another piece of malachite. When to use it? When the concrete jungle has you disconnected from the earth beneath it. When you've just got to have the money, the power, and all the glory. Come at it with a heart-forward, sustainable energy courtesy of malachite. Orange calcite. What is it? Orange calcite is the hot-blooded, artistic, love-on-the-brain wild child of the calcite family. Woo, baby! Let it fly! So, who needs it? Artists holding the proverbial paintbrush and staring at the proverbial blank canvas. Anyone whose sex life needs a little bit, life. Yeah. Where to put it? The honeymoon suite, the studio. When to use it? When you want to make something beautiful. Orange calcite's energy is all about breaking through the fog and the fear that you hang on the path to creation. When you want to add some energy to your creative process, or take on the Kama Sutra, one page at a time. Yet with the orange calcite sunny kissed vibes, unlock your creativity. This is claim your success. Take back your shine. So what they're all showing you is the fact that this is all about you. This is all about moving forward. Don't get yourself locked up in the idea of you're blocked. Even when you feel blocked, there are always ways out. Grab the energy that's before you. And I mean that completely, because you're looking at somebody who, for the longest time, like I said, I write under a different name. In fact, I was on a podcast. So I'm going to tell you the name of the podcast. In fact, first episode just came out. It is called What Happens Next. Jay Sandlin. That's S as in Sam, A-N-D as in David, L-I-N as in Nancy, is the host of the podcast. It is available through iTunes as well. And the episode is called Rocket Raccoon Battle. And there's 2 parts, and the first part just aired, was released yesterday. The next part's coming up shortly. And if you want to know what name I write under, that is the way to find out who I am. My writing name, because I'm not going to tell you otherwise. So that would be the best way to do it. And if you like the podcast, like it, subscribe to it, and whatever, because I know I'm going to be coming back shortly, because I have been told I'm coming back. But also, I actually talk a little bit about tarot on there as well, so it's going to be something that will happen. So I wanted to bring out the copper card, since 2 of the stones mentioned copper is a big part of that. And copper says what it is. If you're thinking, but copper isn't a crystal, indeed, you are a genius. Copper is a metal, but it's such a powerful energy conductor and component of so many of your favorite stones. Chrysocolla, malachite, turquoise. It has to make the cut. Who needs it? Anyone who needs the proverbial defibrillator paddles. Yes, I do. Thank you. Where to put it? With your epic crystal collection, copper intensifies the potency of most stones, clearing the channels of communication between you and your mineral friends. When to use it? When it's time to pack up an old idea of who you are and ship it out for good. Move on renewed with copper. Energize your whole world. So this is what we're looking at. Copper is part of these two stones, so it automatically energizes these two to a higher level of you. Copper in use with calcite, with this level of orange calcite, helps you to break past that blank canvas look, helps you to reach forward, gives you more oomph when you need it most. So this is something else to consider in the scheme of things. So don't hesitate in thinking that you don't have to have it, or it's not there for you. It's something that can truly benefit you in the long run. So what I usually tell people when I talk about crystals, or when people who aren't true crystal believers ask me, what can crystals do for me, even if I don't believe in them? Having crystals is normally very calming. In fact, it's so funny. I'm going to bring out some of I have a small my little Bach Rescue Pistol container. I put some that I have automatically there. I have my purple fluorite, my rhodonite, my infinite stone, my aquamarine, my labradorite. Oh look, my sunstone. Imagine this. I also have my astrophyllite, and then I also have my prainite with epidote. So the nice thing is that this is actually one of those batches that I have a tendency, like, I will pick up and play with a stone at work, and it just helps re-energize me, especially like the astrophyllite. Even though it helps me to see past a lot of the crap, especially when I'm at work, because the job I do, by day, basically by day I work in insurance. I have to deal with a lot of policyholders, and I'm not going to tell you that policyholders don't have any right to bitch, complain, or have issues. We all do. We all bitch, complain, and have issues. But sometimes, because I take so many calls a day, there comes a point that sometimes it gets very repetitive, and sometimes people have a tendency to meander. They can't get to the point. They can't tell me what it is. They just, I don't understand it, and they can't tell me what they don't understand. They just like, this amount's wrong. Well, why is it wrong? That's not what they told me. Well, actuality, they were told the right number, but they weren't listening because they bought a brand new car. They were so hyped up on the new car, they weren't listening to what we were telling them. And it happens, okay? I'm not going to tell you it doesn't happen. But what I am going to tell you is the fact that a lot of times, being on the other side of the coin, is that I will pick up something like astrophyllite to be able to see, to be able to look past myself and be able to see their point of view. See, are they the type of person who's emotional? Are they factual? Are they very strong, power oriented? Are they the type that are communicators? Are they the storyteller type? Are they very not necessarily simple-minded, but are they the ones that you have to break it down little by little, and have to break it down in chunks that they can understand it, and say, hey, remember when you bought the car and we told you it was going to cost more, and you asked if you had to give us money today, and we said no, we would put it on the next bill? And they say, yeah, well, this is the next bill, this is where we put that extra money on. Usually when you break it simply, they get it, but you got to know which one it is. And so a lot of times some of these stones help me to do that. So things like having a stone that has copper and knowing that I need to have it, I'll have the two stones together. Knowing that if I need to ground myself, I'll pick up one of my grounding stones like hematite or or anything else. Or if I have, like, I also have a piece of selenite that I will often ground myself on. And the reason being is because knowing that in the long run, when it comes to these stones and stuff, I will tell people, sometimes you feel really good around a stone. It just feels good in your hand. It feels good when you it'll feel good when you touch it, or when you have it around you. Like, I actually have a salt crystal lamp. I have a pink salt lamp, and I use it a lot. And it makes me feel better when I have it on, because it cleanses the room I'm in. A lot of times I'll also have my diffuser going with some, like, upbuilding scents, some citrus essences or things of that nature. And it really kind of helps me a lot. Now, the interesting thing about it is that I will tell people, well, you know how scents make a difference, and there's actual studies that show certain scents make you more productive, make you a little bit better. They're like, well, yeah, well, the same thing with crystals. It's not a visible thing, but there are certain crystals that make you smile. Like if you like purple, or if you like blue. So if you have certain stones there, they oftentimes will give you a calmness, or they'll help you to be feeling a little bit more energetic. And it's psychological in nature, but it's also the properties of that particular stone in question. Big thing is, like quartz. I tell people, whether or not you believe it, quartz is a big part of computers. So if you like handheld, love your smartphone, you love your computers, you love quartz, you love silicon. So if you get yourself a nice piece of quartz and have it at your desk, and whether you're working on computers, whatever, get yourself some selenite, rub off that bad energy. When you're having a bad call or a bad day, have that selenite, rub your hands on it, clear that negative energy off, go to your next thing. You'll find that even though you may not believe in the crystal, knowing that that's what it does, that it clears that negative energy, you'll feel it psychologically going, yeah, this is what this does. And then because it does it automatically, you're going to go ahead and allow it to do so. So part of it is somatic, and part of it is what it actually does. So for these, we're looking at the idea you're going to look at moving forward. You've got change coming. Activate your change. You look at doing something different. Look at moving and grooving, making your money work for you. Energize your space. Take back your own shine. You've got it. You can do this. Unlock your potential. Unlock your creativity, because you know what? Your creativity is going to claim your success. It's going to give you back your shine. And more importantly, you can energize your whole world by doing all this. So it's really simple. This deck is really great. I would use it with the idea of doing a reading for somebody, or just a daily pull. That would be my general use for the deck, but you can use it any way you see fit. Do I recommend it? Oh, hell yeah. It is easily a 6.7 out of 7 chakras here for us. But I will also say this: if you truly love crystals and you can't always buy some of these crystals, like I said, that Moldavite is easy $50 for a tiny, tiny little piece that you would have to keep in a container because you just couldn't leave it out because it'd be blown away. It would be worth your while, honestly, to have your card that has the picture, that has the energy infused into it, labradorite. I mean, seriously, lepidolite. The fact that I can actually name some of these without even thinking. Agate. So, like, seriously, consider doing that. Getting the deck, working with the energy of the crystals for yourself. It's truly beneficial, and I think you would enjoy it. Especially you out there that love working with oracle cards, working with the tarot, and want to bring more into it for yourself. This would be the way to do it. So, until next time, Benedithia.